Okay. Welcome back to Ultra Review, episode number 11. We're discussing episodes 12 and 13 of Ultraman. Yes, and definitely these episodes have 26 more to go for the series. And before taking a break, it's like 7 episodes. First one basically involves a mummy. Yes, seriously, a mummy. It's called Cry of the Mummy, this one. Where a mummy is found by Dr. Awatao in this cave. And they explain it, the Tawa Hills. Yes, so he finds it there. He brings it back to the laboratory. Doesn't question the fact the mummy's got a face of a monkey. Yes, that's one thing I thought was quite weird for this mummy. Usually a mummy doesn't have the face unwrapped like this. And he didn't question it. It's like, oh, preserved mummy for 1,000 years. Except mummies are in Egypt or in the Inca stuff. Not in Japan. They don't usually have mummies. And they don't have the face of a freaking monkey. Yep. So, it's brought back to the lab where it brings itself back to life via electricity. I'm like, what is this? Ripping a Frankenstein's monster? Yes. Comes to life, rips part of the bandages off, and kills guards. How? By strangling them. Now you're probably thinking, is this standard mummy killing method? Yes, he did this in the other movies that starred Boris Karloff. Basically, this is a common thing. Mummies, they just like doing this. Surprisingly, they didn't try to burn the mummy. Nope. They had the capture because basically he had secrets for 7,000 years. After a while, they had no choice but to kill him, and then when their monsters show up at the cave, yes, a Chinese dragon, believe it or not, from the mythology of Quinn. Yes. Yeah, this is a real life monster who's got the roar of Rodan. Yeah, it is the most goofiest design. The face is so goofy. Like, wow, it's a Quinn. It's from East Asian mythology. Yeah, and from what I read, it's basically a Rodan roar. And I believe it's in this episode in particular. Actually, in the next episode, they bring back the ringtone where it's King Ghidorah's roar. Yep, and of course the dragon, they decide to blind it first. And of course, this new ability by Ida where he's like a bear, which does work and they get hit by a rock. He manages to blind one eye, and then one member's blind the other eye, and of course Ida is like, oh, why don't you draw the stream? Okay. Then he summons Ultraman and beats him pretty quickly. Yep. And then basically, like the very next episode, we deal with we have this drunk who's in part of the episode, and then he's just drinking, and obviously he says blue light. He stops, taking a truck, and oh, you see this blue light? Nah, we don't see it. Taking a truck up, and it explodes. And then a monster comes out of the water. A monster that is literally 2 starfish, and his layers are got a head of a freaking bat. What the heck is this damn thing? Well, this is referred to as a pestar. Yes. It looks like basically 2 giant starfish with a head of a bat, which apparently they did return for the Heisei era. About. And apparently it seems like they spent a lot of money in this episode. Mm-hmm. Of course, I showed in the episode this thing it destroyed some ordinaries in the Middle East, and somehow went from the Middle East all the way up to frickin' Japan. How? Probably swam there. The monster is pretty much defeated pretty easily while it's consuming oil. Ultraman himself, basically, when he's attacking a refinery, Yeah, they put a lot of fire, and of course they were killing the monster, which Ultraman just summoned just to clean up the basically the atmosphere. He puts out the fire pretty quickly. Monster Brief attacks him, he just kills him pretty easily. With like one beam. If you let him the fire is out eventually. Once he's done, this little thing on his chest blinks and he just flies off. Also, in the case of the last episode, we kind of see how he sort of demorphs. He does this with hands, and it sort of beams him atop a rock. And it's suspected he might be Ultraman by one of his teammates. But it's not followed with next episode. But these two were pretty good. It's interesting that the drunk who basically brought in the whole thing of the starfish monster is pretty much like forgotten about part with the like basically once he's proved to be correct, he disappears, never to be seen again in this episode. And you're thinking, really? A drunk stumbled upon this monster. Yep, seriously, it is quite weird, but it's definitely a very interesting episode. Yep. Excuse me, yep. But yeah, that's pretty much it for particular review. Not much to discuss here. Just two really good episodes that I really enjoyed. Despite the fact that the only thing I didn't like about 12 was basically the second monster. The design for it is interesting. The body looks great. Just the head is basically the weakness of this monster. But I do like next month. But I did enjoy the Deadly Starfish. Yep. So yeah, so that's it particular view, and that's the video for tonight. So tomorrow, expect to see just Ultraman, just finish up the first half of Ultraman, a comic corner, and start up the One Piece dub. Okay, next video. Bye.